We return to our coverage of Iran, and as the news of Trump's historic deal makes its way around the globe, we wanted to check in with one group that has been part of the armed resistance inside Iran, the Mujahideen-e-Khalq, or the MEK. This group has tried to capture or kill Iranian leaders and generals. They are headquartered in Europe, and they're working to organize Muslims around the world against the Iranian regime. Joining us now is a member of the National Council of Resistance to Iran, also known as the MEK, Ali Safavi. Ali, welcome back. You've got big plans coming up in Paris to hold a march in opposition to the Iranian regime. Why did you choose Paris, and how many people are you expecting?
Well, first of all, great to be with you, Matt, as always. Well, as you may know, Paris historically has been known as the cradle of democracy. Of course, the NCRI headquarters is based here since 1981. And as far as the rally is concerned, organizers have indicated that 100,000, even more, are coming from all across the world, from the United States. Thousands are coming, especially from California, when there is a large Iranian community. Also from other countries in Europe, from Germany, from Nordic countries, Italy, Britain. I think the organizers now are facing a logistical problem because, based upon the latest that I heard, some 800 or so buses are coming, and so the issue is, where are they going to park? It's a good thing it's a Saturday, otherwise it would have been impossible to find the open space for them. But we expect a very large crowd, a stellar list of speakers, and many younger generation Iranians will be among them, thousands of them, men and women, and they're going to send a very powerful message, a message that, first of all, the issue of human rights and executions must be front and center in any international negotiations, but more importantly, they will declare support for the NCRI's provisional government and Mrs. Rajavi, the president-elect of the NCRI's 10-point plan for a democratic future for that country.
And this gathering, Ali, is happening against the backdrop of this announced deal. Based on what you know of the terms, I mean, you are part of this armed resistance to the current Iranian government, and that government is ensconcing itself in the future of the country through this deal. So what's your reaction?
Well, when the MOU was initially announced a couple of days ago, Mrs. Rajavi welcomed any understanding that would end the war and the suffering of the Iranian people, simply because the regime has used the war as a shield to prevent its overthrow. And historically, of course, Matt, the main, if you will, loser of conflicts such as this are the Iranian people, just like the 8-year Iran-Iraq war, which Khomeini instigated and continued for 8 years. And certainly now, under the shadow of the war, as I'm sure you know, and we've talked about this in your previous programs, executions are skyrocketing. 836 since the beginning of the year, 35 dissidents, including 2 yesterday, since mid-March. So, of course, when this shadow of war ends, it will create space for the Iranian people to come out onto the streets of Iran and voice their opposition to this regime.
Well, Ali, what would you say to the perspective that this deal makes the regime stronger? They'll have additional resources at their disposal. They will have sanctions relief with good behavior. They will have the ability to maintain their ballistic missile program, to have some degree of civilian uranium. Is that not disheartening to you as your group has worked to capture and kill various Iranian leaders and generals?
Well, I think, bear in mind, Matt, that given that this regime doesn't belong to the 21st century, it's a medievalist regime, it is incapable of addressing Iran's acute and fundamental problems, economically, politically, and socially. And to be honest, even if gold falls from the sky, this regime will not be able to survive. Under Ahmadinejad, 8-year presidency...
They survived the bombs falling from the sky. They could probably survive the gold.
Because it will not survive the gold. That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, look, they've been under more pressure than ever before. They had the maximum pressure of sanctions They had a kinetic conflict, military conflict, and they survived. I guess I wonder if there comes a point at which your group acknowledges and understands that the future of Iran will very likely be under the IRGC in the near term.
I do not believe so because, first of all, we are very confident of our own organization and our capabilities. And despite everything that the regime has done, it has been unable to extinguish this resistance within Iran itself. In fact, as we speak, the resistance units are active all over Iran.
Are you working to execute Iranian generals now?
Well, I think the issue really isn't so much execution, but it is to foment and organize a nationwide uprising. And we believe that the Iranian people, millions of them...
But will you execute people in the force of that uprising, I guess, I'm asking?
Well, yes, they do. But I think at the end of the day, the force of the
Your
Iranian
group executes Iranian generals to foment an uprising against the Iranian government.
Well, not so much execute generals, but foment an uprising, target IRGC bases and centers, and the fusion of 91 million Iranians with the organized resistance is far more powerful than what the IRGC can do. Remember that 1 year before the fall of the Shah, and the Shah had full backing of the United States, complete backing of the United States and Europe, Britain, everybody else, the CIA had an analysis that said Iran is not even in a pre-revolutionary stage, let alone a revolutionary stage. And so, but we saw what happened a year later. The Shah, the island of stability, was
Ali, you're not going to get me to defend the CIA. I think the CIA's had more to do with the MEC than they have with me. But but we do wish you well. We're grateful that you came on the show. We hope it's a successful endeavor in Paris. Always appreciate your perspective. Ali Safavi, member of the NCRI, the National Council of Resistance to Iran. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Matt, for the opportunity.